What up, y'all? Luke here with Let's Talk More Action Golf podcast. Welcome back to another amazing episode. And in this week's episode, I have a special guest for you. I'm talking with Fit for the Fairway Coach Shawna. She is a fitness trainer for golfers and a certified game changer. After my conversation, you'll understand why she makes the claim that she can add 10 extra yards to your drive, not with new clubs, but with the smarter, stronger body. And trust me when I tell you, her golf fitness program is the real deal. So whether you're chasing distance or just trying to feel better after 18 hole, you want to lock in for this conversation. But before we get into this conversation, I want to just remind you that on April 25th, the guys over at Big Smoke Golf is putting together a tournament over at Clear Creek Golf Course. I'm going to be there, and I want to encourage you to show up. Second thing, I want to thank you all for sharing the podcast widely. We have people all over the continent listening to the podcast. We have people in Africa. We have people in Asia. We have people in South America, all listening to this podcast, and it's all because of you. And I'm ever grateful for this. So, if you haven't done so, go ahead and subscribe, follow us on Instagram, Let's Talk More Action Golf Podcast, and then share this episode with 5 people who are each going to share it with 5 other people. Look, as you could tell, I have a little bit of a cold because this Houston weather is all over the place. One day it's 98, the next day it's 43, and I have a tendency of not dressing well for the weather. So while I'm gonna go get myself some tea, get your clubs, get in the clubhouse, let's talk more action golf with this great conversation with Coach Shawna from Fit the Fairway. I'll catch you all on the other side. I know it's easy for me to say, but don't overthink this. Okay. It's going to be real conversation. Okay. The same way we were doing in the car.
Thank you. Okay.
You know,
Thank you.
It's not that big of a deal.
You know, I have a YouTube channel. I don't know if you got the opportunity to check it out. Okay. Yeah. So I'm trying to grow on all different platforms to keep it consistent. Okay. Okay. And getting in front of the camera was the hardest thing for me. Even to this day, when I'm standing in front of the camera, I have to remind myself, girl, you can delete this video and not use it. And it's just becoming fun just watching my antics and doing different things. But it's hard to get in front of the camera. Oh my gosh. Yeah. And to perform, just imagine, content creation, I never thought it'd be something that I would ever do. Even though I'm this
bubbly and all that.
Yes, yeah. It's hard. So...
but I think it speaks to authenticity, right?
Yeah,
because you don't think of yourself as someone who's performing.
No.
So the minute that you get in front of the camera and you're like, wait, so I have to perform, then you forget that you're being yourself in each and every day.
Yes.
Is,
Just like you, I want things to be not right. I want to perform. I want it to be perfect.
Right.
That's the perfectionist side. But then I have to remind myself, Shawna, you're doing this. This is new. Not everything's gonna be perfect. So you just gotta roll with it and put the content out there. Even though you don't like what you had on, whatever you look like, just put it out there.
And I think also too, people love to see growth.
Yes.
Right? They want to be able to look at one YouTube video, one YouTube video, and then afterwards they're like, oh, okay, I see where she came from.
Yes.
I think that's important.
That's true. I'm happy in this space. You go through a lot of things in life, and it takes you, all these roller coasters. And when you find some place where you're just happy. I went to the Houston Open this past weekend. And when I tell you, I thought I was going to be afraid of, handing out my cars. I was in there, here's my card, introducing myself. And the whole day I was smiling. I felt so happy just to be there around different golfers. The vibe was just vibrant. And when I get to a course, I'm like, I'm happy here.
Yeah.
This is where I could see myself long term. So how do I turn it into a career? I've always thought, and I'm sure you're probably going to ask me, or I don't know, but I've always thought, how can I merge golf into, like, I love golf and I have this passion for fitness, right? How can I merge the two? And in TikTok, it would be just a golf video and then some fitness stuff. I never thought that I could merge the two, and I promise you, I was asleep and it was like 2 o'clock in the morning, and I woke up and I was like, golfers need trainers. Where are I was like, I need to get in there.
Yeah.
How do I become a trainer to the golf industry?
Yeah.
I don't care how, I got to do it. So got online 3 o'clock in the morning, was like, okay, I got to get the certificate. I signed up through NASM's Golf Fitness Specialist, and I started the program. Then I found Titleist Performance. I haven't gotten certified through them yet, but that's another level of training.
That's another milestone.
Yeah, another milestone. And I just feel happy in this space where I know that there's so much opportunity, because golf is like becoming a thing. It's a thing now, which is fantastic. But I haven't seen anyone that look like me doing it and getting into the fitness side. You got guys, they're doing it, and some girls, but they're focused on, it's not specified. Right. I want this to just be straight up golf fitness. That's who I am. I am the go-to. So I like honing in on it, mastering it, and becoming like obsessed with it to a certain extent to make it become this most beautiful thing. Yeah.
So how'd you get into so you talked about the idea coming to you at night, right? Mm-hmm. And that's when you decided, okay, let's take this to the next level, right? Registering and get. Mm-hmm. But what in you though, like, triggered the fitness part to where now you want to marry it with golf?
I was already a personal trainer. And so I was working at a gym and I was trying to find my niche. I was like, I have to stand out from all these trainers. Yeah, I'm this bubbly person. I could go and talk to anybody. But I was never the girl that got excited about posting me working out. When I get in the gym, it's work. We working. It's no recording and setting up the camera like that. I'm setting up the camera. I wanted to just separate that life. I wanted to niche in something because, let me just be real, I'm not married and I don't have children, right? Me posting pictures of my body on social media to gain clients is not something that I wanted for my future, spouse or my future children to see me as, right? Okay. I didn't want that. I wanted it to be where I can separate my life and my passion for fitness, right? And it be niche down. Because you can get on social media and you can say, they're doing it this way. I need to do it this way. I need to do it this way. No, I need to niche down. I need to find something. So I was like, how do I find, what do I do? Like, I'm like, what do I do? I don't want to become the girl that's pulling exercises from all these different fitness people online that don't got certifications. So I just knew that I had to separate myself from other people. And that's how it started. And it took some time. I had gotten off social media. I got off because I was like, all these people posting these exercises and I got my own programs. Should I be doing it that way? And that just creates a downfall of your business because you don't know really what you're doing. You're just watching other people do it.
Right, yeah.
So I started reading books because I like to read. So I got some golf books. I got books on functional strength. I got books on all different types of things, Olympic lifting, all that stuff. And I just studied. And I said, okay, this is how I'm going to do this. I'm going to pull exercises from these books and merge them together to create my programs. And so I'm still building the programs because they're always going to change based on the individual. But when I tell you, it takes time, and you have to separate yourself from social media. You can't just be like, this is what I'm going to do. I'm watching other people on social media. You have to set your own lane, read your own books, get your own knowledge, be scientific based about it to a certain extent.
Yeah.
And so, yeah.
So most of our listeners, right? We're not playing with professionals. And I think there is a gap, right? Because when we see the Tigers, we see the professionals, I don't know that we often see all the work that goes, other than just being on the range. You know, when people talk about Tiger Woods or talk about professionals, they talk about the number of balls that they're hitting on the range, right? And I think fitness plays a huge part that is often not talked about at all.
Right.
Even in the professional aspect. Now, when you take weekend golfers, right, those folks don't talk about that at all. Fitness is not even an aspect of it, right? Like stretching, mobility, for mobility. So talk to us about, like, why is it important, right? Not to think about fitness, right, as someone who gets on the course maybe every weekend or sometimes on the week. Like, why is that really important?
People always wonder why they can't hit the ball a certain way, right? Whenever you have a recreational golfer, someone new, amateur golfer, they always wonder, man, I can't hit the ball as far. I can't, my short game is horrible, right? You might have the most expensive clubs.
My short game is good, but you're talking about for those other people. For those
other people, yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Oh, look, he had to put that in there. That's a disclaimer.
Listen, I got to let them know.
That's a disclaimer.
But I will definitely need help with my drive. Well, now I'm hitting a 1-iron. But anyway, yes.
People don't realize how your body is overcompensating for the weaknesses that you have. You have weak core strength. You're going to overcompensate in other areas in order to try to hit that ball. If in the event you are lacking any type of mobility in your upper body, you're going to overcompensate. And so your body is going to consistently work harder and overwork itself in order to produce what it is that you're trying to do. And you're still not going to be as great, okay? And so, or you're still not going to hit it the way you want. So I believe that the looser you are, the smoother you are. So that's why warming up, doing just like 4 exercises before you get out there will make a huge impact on your game, especially if you're an avid player. Just doing some dislocations, some pelvic disassociations, some steps through, just moving your body prior to getting out is great.
How'd you get into golf?
My dad. My stepdad. Yes. Rest his soul. He's passed away now. But I had an opportunity to be taught a set of skills. Okay, what was that movie Taken? He's like, I have a set of skills when he's trying to find his daughter. Anyway, so
it's so interesting because I feel like I've seen 7 movies.
Yes,
with Liam Neeson. That he says the exact same thing in all movies.
But I love that line. I have a set of skills. I'm like, that's what I'm talking about. I do. I have a bag of skills. And he taught me how to play golf at a pretty young age, younger age, with 12. I was 12 years old. And I thought, because they would go golf and they would get drunk. They would get so wasted on the course. As I turned 16, I was able to drive, and I thought, he's only teaching me this so I can, like, take them around and help them pick them up and drive them around. Because, I'm 16, I'm sober.
Yeah.
And so, come to find out, as I got older, though, and I went into real estate. I did real estate for a little while, and I started golfing. The biggest deals happen on the golf course. So my dad was teaching me a lot of things that translated into day life, everyday life. Everybody plays golf. Everybody's going to play golf at some point, or they want to get into it. And so my dad taught me a set of skills, and that was one of them, was to play golf and be able to communicate with all different types of people. And so that's why I don't mind playing with all different types of individuals. I've built some amazing relationships, and I've seen some good deals go down, and I've shaken and held on to some great relationships on the course as well. So it's all good. So my dad, he's definitely an orchestrator behind that. So it's really nice.
So what is your game like now?
We're gonna see today.
We're gonna see?
We're gonna see.
Wait, am I? I think I've played. I've played with women before, and when I played, at the time, I just played at the Red Sea because I didn't want to make it weird or uncomfortable, whatever. I just played at the Red Sea, but it didn't mean anything. So is the expectation that I play with you from the Red Seas?
No, I play with all different types of people.
Okay.
Those different types of people, they play at the tee that they want to play at.
Okay, all right. I'm going to just play at the red tee. So I could brag about, like, I par the course.
Whatever. I feel like that is crazy. That is insane. Don't do that. Because if we hitting over some water, you're going to be like, I'm good. You're going to hit it under par, get an eagle.
That would be so obnoxious, though.
Right? You need to play at your level.
That would be super obnoxious.
Play at your level, please. Don't do me like that.
So, I want to ask about, you mentioned longevity, right?
Yes.
Life and, like extending, doing these things.
Yeah.
And I want to better understand, like, what are some core aspect of fitness that can really help someone not just do really well around the setup, but also, like, not feel sore afterwards, or kind of like make it fun to have around the golf where you don't have physical, unless you have like some inherent physical limitation, but for your body to continue to like really enjoy it.
Like, you mean some fun golf movements?
Yeah. Even while you're on the golf course, right? Sometimes people are in their cart. Like, what are some things that you could do to make sure that you stay loose throughout the round?
Yeah, get you some hip circles in there. Bring your hip
circles.
Hip circles.
Okay.
You know what? We're going to do them today.
Okay.
Hip circles. They're fantastic. You can get your orange whip out.
Okay.
And whip around and start doing some orange whip stuff. You know the orange whip trainer? You haven't seen my video about the orange whip trainer?
I have not seen that one.
You better get on YouTube and watch it. That's the best video. It's an orange whip trainer. So it's a golf trainer. It's a weighted ball at the end. And you can use it to time tempo. It adds power. It adds strength.
Oh, no, I see that.
Yeah, the orange whip trainer.
I saw that, yeah.
Okay, I'm going to send you my link just in case.
No, I did see that. You know what? When you say the hip trainer, I think my mind went into some orange whip trainer. Yeah. My mind went into something else. I'm thinking about hula. Is it hula hoop?
It's not hula hoop, no. But see,
that's where my mind went.
This is the thing. Like, you could do hip circles. Bring out your orange whip trainer. You can bring little fun training aids on the golf course that you think that are going to help you. A lot of people golf has ability to be an egotistical. It could be driven at a time.
Okay.
So people don't want to show their hand of what they're using to stay primed and primed, right? They want to just be able to come out here and show up and show out.
Okay.
Right? That's the thing.
That's what we see on TV, right?
Okay.
People just come out and show out.
That's okay.
Okay.
Well, technically, not necessarily. You see people stretching on the side. You see them stretching. You don't see the camera pan into that.
Okay,
right?
Yeah.
They're stretching on the side.
Okay.
Some of them are just, even when you could see like Rory stretching. You can see all different, but they're doing it in different pockets where the
camera is not
panning out. But if you're there live, you're going to see some stuff going on where they're warming up. They're priming. But you could do hip circles. You could do some hold on to the side of the cart and do some lunges in the back or something. You could just kind of consistently move your body.
Okay.
It doesn't matter what it is and what you're doing. You get out that cart, you're like, do some side bends, do something.
Just to get you going.
Just to get you going.
You talk about simple exercise, because I know a lot of my friends, a lot of the guys that I play with, oftentimes it's like, oh yeah, the tee time is at 10 o'clock.
Yes.
I'm going to pull up at 9:45, maybe chip a little bit, but what are some basic exercise that folks who shows up 10 minutes before their tee time can get into, just to loosen things up for mobility, as you said? Yeah.
So what's really good is we want to prime our upper body. So they're called shoulder dislocations, right? Where you have the club and you're raising it over your head and you're stretching, okay? You want to do, they're called pelvic disassociations, where we're moving our hips left and right to warm up for that internal and external rotation, because our hips are just a part of it. I love I love torso twists. Torso twists are great because we're priming our core. And let's see, back lunges with rotation. They're great too because we're warming up the glute. We're warming up our upper body and we're rotating. So it's that's a total body, I think, warm up. And it's just overall, it's like our core, our glutes, our upper body, our shoulders. What am I missing? And our quads too with that lunge, right? Those are some of the prime muscles that we use in golf, right? We use our wrists, of course, and all that good stuff. But I think if you have 10 minutes to your tee time, just getting literally exercises don't take that long, right? So if you could get 10 reps of each 4 or 5 of those exercises, I think I named 4, then you'll be fine, you know? People don't realize, like, you're just so tight. When you wake up in the morning, if you're going to come out into the world and you're going to drink first thing in the morning, right? No problem with that. But prime your body first. Get the blood flowing through. We're a creature of habit. Get up and just go into it, right? But athletes, people who start to play, when you train for a sport, you have to warm up your body. Basketball players, what are they doing? They're priming before they do it. Football players, they're throwing before they get into it. So it's important for golfers too because it is another sport.
What are some common misconceptions that from jump you kind of break down for them in order to help them to get to the place where it's part of their routine, to really loosen up and warming up? Yeah.
Even with my traditional clients that I have now, I get I don't want to be too bulky. Golf, or even with golf, people say, I don't want to get too bulky. You'll see some bigger golfers and you'll see some golfers that are slender. You'll see some that are fit. Everyone prioritizes fitness in a different way. But a lot of people don't want to get big. They say, if I strength train, I'm going to get big. But in reality, strength training, when done correctly, you have the ability to develop more power, more speed in your swing. You just we don't have to hammer it. I'm not going to progressively overload you to something where you're just going to develop the guns that I have, right? And so it's just learning how to balance it and paying attention to the fast twitch muscles or the muscles that are just keeping you stable but also helping you develop speed and strength, right? Another misconception is stretching, like, oh, I gotta stretch, right? Stretch. Mobility is important, but stability, core control, and all that good stuff, like all of the stability, core control, functional strength, they're super important too. We stretch, we don't static stretch, we dynamic stretch, right? Static stretching means you're holding it for like 15 to 20 seconds. Mm-hmm. Dynamic stretching means we're moving to warm up the muscles. That's what we want to do. So it's not necessarily stretching, it's dynamic stretching, which is, there's 2 different levels, right? And so we are dynamically stretching to warm up and prime the muscles. Everyone's like, oh, I got to stretch and hold it back. No, because that actually reduces your power output if you hold it, right? I mean, that's just based on science, but
I agree with you because I recently read that article in the New York Times about, holding, and I did not know the term static stretch and dynamic. Like static stretch doesn't really help. Like there isn't like a lot of long-term benefit when you holding it for a long time.
No, it actually, they say it actually increases your risk of injury when you're holding it prior to performing a sport. But at the end of your workout, say you're doing a bout of workout and you do dynamic in the beginning and you do some static to cool down the muscles, that's okay because when you go home, you're going to be tight, right? So let's stretch the muscles for a little bit just to loosen loosen what we just did up, right? And so in the gym. And so it's important to know the difference. And so that's another misconception.
So it sounds like what you're saying is there needs to be a pre-round dynamic stretch.
Yes,
right?
Absolutely.
To get you loosened up.
Yes.
And then a post-round static stretch.
Yes.
To help cool your body down.
Absolutely. How many of your golfers, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead, finish.
So how many, I'm sure your golf buddies, or you maybe, I don't know, you have golfed on a Sunday and when you did an 18 on a hot day and you rolled out of bed on Monday and were like,
Well, I don't have to go Monday. Yesterday, I played 18, and I walk. I carried my bag.
Okay.
I woke up in the morning,
Okay.
and let me tell you, it was like, oh.
Yes.
Is this age, or did I do a lot yesterday?
I'm telling you. So if at the end, when you're at the end of your round, let me stretch a little bit. Let me hold this little stretch at the end. And even when I'm working out, I have to do those static stretching at the end because I know I just stress that muscle so much. The static stretch is going to help loosen that up and keep me good to function.
So when you're playing with people, or I don't know if you play with people that before the round you stretch and they see you and they stretch too, but when you play with people who do not do that, and then they start playing, people offer golf advice, but do you say, hey, should we be stretching?
This is a new space for me, Luke. So I have not had the opportunity to share this.
Okay.
I've been so busy focused on the business that I haven't gotten the opportunity to just get out there. Now I'm in the space where I'm like, let's get out and let's network and let's start doing it. Because everything is live now.
Okay.
And so I'm lead generating.
Okay.
And so this is new for me. But I will tell you that I was one of the ones that suffered from the pains and the aches prior when I would play years ago with my golf buddies. Okay, so when I was playing maybe a year and a half, let's say a year and a half ago, I would wake up, my hand would be in so much pain, ripping, and then I would wake up and I would just have all this pain, or my game is just off, and I'm overcompensating. At that time, I wasn't as in the gym. Maybe 2-3 years ago, I wasn't as into it as I was now, right? And so now I think because I've not only make content for this, but then I also incorporate some of the workouts in my game. We'll find out today how it goes and see.
Okay, all right. We're gonna find out. You make it sound fairly easy.
Yeah.
Before you get on for exercise, dynamic stretching, and I don't know that. In as much as I know that being loose, that term in itself, really often equate fitness loose to me.
Right. Okay.
Right?
Okay.
I often think about being loose, being ready is more like mentally. I'm generally like, okay, let me do a mindful exercise. Let me just calm myself down because I'm thinking mentally, I want to relax.
Which is great because there's a mental side of golf too. Yes, it's mental.
But I don't know that folks often think that the mobility part is also important.
Right.
And the way that you articulated that to me is really important is that, when we're not, like, if my body is not fluid, like if the muscles are not warm, things are moving, then other parts are overcompensating, which is where sometimes you may feel pain in another place that you may not have used because now you're overcompensating.
Right, absolutely.
So how do you, in your program, how do you incorporate kind of like the lead way to help people, almost like change management, right? To get people to think about being loose very different.
They have to see the result. People are results driven, right? And so my biggest thing is this. I have to hold you. I have to motivate you to want to do this, right? You have to be motivated. Then when you come out here, you have to say, okay, my trainer, Shawna, told me that if I got to do these exercises each time I come out, and I'm going to do this every time. I have to hold you accountable to a certain extent, right? And so it takes an individual, time to get used to the idea of this is going to help my game. But just think about it like this. Overall, the goal is longevity. So it's not like I'm doing this just for the specificity of golf. I'm doing it to help you live longer. I want you to be able to live longer. I want you to be able to move better as it relates. Golf is just the token of it, right? It's something you love to do.
Yeah.
But I want you to understand, like, my trainer, she's helping me hang out with my kids and my grandkids, and I can move better, but I can play the game a little bit stronger too, right? So my thing is this: if you love golf and you are kind of teetering on the side of personal training, you see all the personal trainers doing all these exercises, you're going to be in the gym not only focusing on the game of golf, but I'm adding some years back onto your life and some time back onto you just by you training with me. So it's like in a whole bubble of like service, I should say.
Yeah, I like the framing though.
Yeah.
Like if you really, we're doing this and the goal is to get you, add more years so you could keep doing that for a lot longer.
Yes.
Okay, so since we're talking about that, walk us through your program. Like, so you just met with someone who's interested. Walk us through your process.
Yeah, so we meet, and because it's going to be in person, we do an assessment. So over the phone, I ask you the questions, like your overall occupation and lifestyle questions, and also just to make sure that you are medically cleared, right, to perform sports. And that just goes for any type of fitness program, okay? Once we do that, then we actually meet together and we do our free assessment.
Okay.
So the assessment is a set of exercises that I would run to test your core strength, your lower body strength, and upper body strength, right? And just a few other things like your wrist strength and a few things like that. But overall, once we complete that, then we get into based on the assessment, I tell you, this is what I think we need to work on, and then we go from there. And then I structure, because I have several different programs, and so I structure based on your needs assessment what we're going to start working on. And based on what you tell me, right? What do you want to work on? Because this is also about you, too. I can have my needs assessment, but then at the same time, I want to add speed. I want to add distance. I want to, all that stuff. I want to be able to do certain things. My short game, this and that. And so when you tell me that, then I have to say, okay, we have this need that we have to achieve, we have to take care of, but then I have to listen to my player as well, right? And so it's just making sure that I have a fine balance of exercises, and the program is curated to make sure that we're getting all things met, and that they trust and believe that what we're doing is going to get them to the end goal at the end of the day.
Folks may come in and expecting results right away. You know, the kind of world we live in now.
Yes.
Everyone wants something yesterday, right? So I come to you. Let's just say actually, let's do an assessment.
Okay.
You ready? You could do it off the cuff?
I think so. I don't know.
Cool.
Okay.
All right. I'm Luke, Coach Shawna. I was referred to you.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. So I say that. What else do I need to say?
Yeah, so what are your goals? I mean, you're looking for potential training, right?
Right.
Okay, so what are your goals? What are you trying to achieve?
So what I'm trying to achieve, I want to play golf for as long as I live for the rest of my life.
Perfect.
I'm about to turn 50.
Okay.
I would consider myself a little overweight.
Okay.
Right? So I want to feel fit.
Okay.
Right? I want after a round for me to feel good.
Okay.
And not be able to wake up, trying to push me out of the bed, and be able to wake up and feel good, but also play good golf.
And that's fair. That is a fair request. Then let's pretend like we've done the questionnaires, right? We've done the questionnaires.
Yes.
And you're medically cleared, and your occupation, I know what you do and how you live.
I went to the doctor last 6 months ago.
Okay.
I got a clean bill of health.
Perfect. So now let's schedule your needs assessment, okay? And that's actually going to be about 45 minutes to an hour of assessments where we're going to do some lunges, some overhead throwing, some upper body things to just to see where you are, okay? Right. And then from there, we then curate your program based on your core. Say you have some core weakness, right?
So I struggle to do those are they called like backward lunges?
Yeah, backward lunges. Okay.
I struggle with those.
Okay, that's all right. But there's workaround.
Okay.
Yeah, there's workaround. Right. So I can get you set up in a space where I'm just testing to see if you can get into the position, number one. So there may be some knee instability, there may be some ankle instability, right? So I do also specialize in corrective exercise too. Okay. So just keep that in mind that based on
that's a bird, right?
Okay,
what kind of bird is that?
Is it coming from the thing or is it coming?
It looks like it may become, but nah, that sounds
It's
like
inside,
a bird.
right?
It's inside, yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, we're
Okay.
sitting outside, so nature
Right.
is nature.
That's funny. Okay, so
You were saying
I
that
specialize
you-
in corrective exercise,
Okay.
so I can identify just based on even just by you telling me some instability in
Okay.
that by you doing a back lunge because we would test it. I would say okay, so based on what I see, I can identify whether or not you have hip tightness, knee weakness.
Let me do a demonstration.
Okay, show me what you got going on. Let's
Okay,
see.
we're doing the front lunge, right?
Okay, front lunge.
All right, so this is generally where I start.
Okay.
See, I could feel my knee.
Yeah. There could be some knee.
See,
There it goes.
I can
Okay.
go fine with the left knee.
Yeah.
But the one that's down, I immediately feel it kind of like weakens
And then
automatically.
also, okay, and then have you had any knees? Have you had any surgeries? in the past?
Not
Okay.
related to like stuff like that.
Okay.
Like I donated a kidney, and then
Okay.
that's the only surgery I've had.
Yeah, so it could be some ankle instability, some knee
Okay.
instability, some hip tightness.
Okay.
Because people don't realize that everything that's, say it's your knee, right? You're like,
It's
"Oh, man,
definitely my knee because
People say-
right now I could feel it.
Yes, people
Right?
say, I have my knee. And then I'm like,
My
well,
knee.
it could be your hip. And they're like, well, how? I'm like, our body, our muscles, it's all synergistic, right? So
Okay.
it all goes.
Look at that big word.
Yeah, so it goes
Synergistic.
from our toes
Okay.
to our head, okay?
Okay,
And
uh-huh.
so it works in unison to keep us moving and keep us going. So it's just me priming the muscles and just working them out, loosening them up. So I might have you get on a foam roller and roll out some spots, right? Or I might have you, some things we do lengthening, which is called that stretching where we hold, right?
Okay.
And I might have you hold, or I might have you do certain things, but we can always work around you doing a lunge. But that lunge wasn't horrible, right?
The one I just did just now?
To me, that was not horrible.
Okay. Probably because I've been in the gym the past few days.
And it could be some related to your core. I seen you go like this.
Right. Yeah.
Core strength is so important to keep you balanced.
Okay.
Core strength is a golfer's powerhouse.
Because that's the setup, right?
That's the setup. And so
Okay.
it keeps a golfer balanced.
Okay.
Regardless of if they drink or whatever. If your core is tight and you're able to keep your core strength strong, you're going to incorporate, it's going to allow you to produce power. It's going to allow you to produce, to just be balanced overall. And that's just in general, okay? But for the golfer, it's really important because they have to lean over. They have to sometimes stand in bunkers and we have to go into the trenches sometimes.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so,
I don't go in the trenches no more. I'm a much better golfer now.
Well, good for you.
Yeah, I'm a much better golfer now.
Good for you. That's
I used to. I used to be in the trenches.
It happens to even the best, okay?
Yeah,
It happens.
yeah, it
I
does.
watch it happen to the best this week.
Okay.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it was just amazing watching them get out of it. But they have core strength. A lot of them do, even though some of them might have a little pudge. But they still manage to have some balance about them.
Let's talk about the pudge.
Okay.
Because I feel like that pudge.
It don't want to go. It don't want to
The
let up.
world, maybe because it doesn't want to go, and I don't want to get too much into like certain like societal thing, but I feel like the patriarchy makes the pudge kind of like a rite of passage. You know what I mean?
To what?
I'm just saying, like, now there's like comedy and all that stuff saying if you see a man, he doesn't have a little pudge, then
He's not the one for you.
He's not the one for
or
you.
the woman, the little kangaroo pouch.
Listen,
they say, look, I'm not going to go too
listen,
deep.
listen.
I'm not going to go too deep. But I will say this, that pudge doesn't want to let up. It doesn't. But you just got to, it's just our diet. It's our diet.
We just got to let it go.
We got to work on the trans fats and the taking too many calories, too many carbs.
Yeah.
You got to have a nice fine balance in your diet. But once you
as
get
part of your work, though, is that something that you work with folks on around nutrition?
I can give general nutrition advice until I get certified as a nutrition specialist.
So I don't want to jump ahead, but it sounds like you're creating a full wraparound program, fitness, nutrition, for anyone who's your client.
My golfers.
Okay.
It's my golfers.
Okay.
This is where I'm focused on them. That's my client.
Okay.
I have traditional clients now,
Yeah.
and they are always going to be my traditional. But I find, for me personally, that it's too separate, okay? And I don't want to separate it right now. I want to master the golfer, and then maybe later I'll bring back more traditional aspects of it.
Okay.
But once it's fit for the fairway. And so, and I might take on traditional client here and there, right?
But if you're a golfer, this is it.
This is it for you. This is a one-stop shop,
Okay.
and I'm trying to encompass that and build my network around. If I have a reference to a swing analysis, like, okay, you got your swing analysis out the way, now you come to me, and therefore, you know what I'm saying? So I eventually want to have a brick and mortar. This is like within the 5 to 10 year plan, brick and mortar, where I have a swing specialist come in, or they're working alongside me and they're doing their assessments, and then they come and do their training and so forth. So they have that. It's a part of the package.
Okay.
And so, I want to incorporate the nutrition, everything. It's all going to be.
So it's going to be fit the fairway powerhouse.
Powerhouse.
You come in, get your swing analysis. From the swing analysis,
Yes.
get your fitness together to address some of the items that come up in your swing analysis,
Yes.
right? To make sure that you are where you need to be.
We're fine tuning.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just
Okay.
fine tuning. Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Hey, that's very important.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So talk to me as you're working with your golfers.
Okay.
Right? What are some of the challenges that when you meet with someone that you have to help them overcome? And what I mean by that is that some people may think like, nah, I'm good. I just need, just as we just mentioned with the lunge, right? I said the knee, and you're like, well, it could be something in your hip,
Yeah.
right? How do you kind of like close that knowledge gap
Yeah.
to help people understand? No. I want you to better understand what's really happening with your body.
I'll make sure I answer this question properly.
It was super convoluted. Basically, what I'm saying is people are stubborn.
Yeah.
They come to you. They want what they want.
Yes. And I have clients like that to this day.
Okay.
Some people have self-limiting beliefs. Some people are very like, if you say, for example, you are your first session with me, and I noticed that you did that lunge, and I'm just observing you based on your, my assessment. And you do that, and you're going to tell me, oh, this happened to me in the past, and this is what happened to me. You start telling me your list of things as to why that lunge might be that way. I'm not worried about that story. I don't care about that story.
Which is something golfers do all the time,
They
right?
try to tell me the story when they had 2 knee replacements and a hip surgery. And look, I'm telling you right now.
And that's why they missed the putt.
Yeah, that's why they missed the putt. I don't care about that. I care about the surgeries because it's going to affect how we do things, right?
Okay.
But I don't care because what we're working on is getting us to where we don't have to tell those stories anymore. That's your past. Let's leave it in the past. But there's so many, the exercise library is long. So even if you can't do it, don't give up. People say, oh man, I can't do it. In their head, they're like, oh my gosh, she's watching me. I can't do this lunge. She's probably judging me right now. I am not judging you. That's not my job. My job is to make you feel better and look better and play better.
There
okay.
you go.
And so I want to make sure that they understand that it's you against you. Overall, we are in our minds constantly. Golf is a mental thing in itself. There's a whole nother realm for that. Golf fitness and stuff. But I think that it's when you come to the fitness aspect of it, just be accepting to receiving the help because you're coming to me as a professional and you're trusting me to allow you to do the things that you want to do and have it translate on the course. Okay. Just don't worry. Just know that I got you. That's what I want people to understand is that don't be overthinking it. Okay? Don't overthink it. I have that's a weakness of mine too, but I do well with it overall, but just don't overthink the process. Just know that this is the long game. This is not the short game.
Every year, right, a new company comes out with a new club claiming we could get you extra 8 yards, extra 10 yards. So people are going to come to you, and when you tell them it's a long game, how they're supposed to navigate that? Because they want to get results right now.
They want to get results right now. But, I mean, you got to understand, even when you go to any type of fitness coach, you're not going to drop the weight after a week.
Some people expect to do that.
Some people expect it, and so that's a challenge, But you just have to trust in me.
Okay.
You have to. It takes me developing trust with the individual and building a rapport to where they say, I'm going to my trainer, and my trainer is this, and I'm holding myself, and I hold you accountable. So it's not like you're going through the training session and I let you go and that's it. No, I'm like, how did your game? When are you going to play golf next? How did your game go? The next time we see each other, or I might text you, or if you tell me, because I let it be known at the gate. If you need an accountability partner, if you need somebody to say, hey, if I give you the program and you tell me I can do it on my own, you need me to text you that day. That's my job. That's my responsibility. So I have a list of individuals that I text and I say, you said you were going to go do this today. Did you do it? And tell me how it went, you know? But it takes time building a relationship and a rapport with an individual where they purchase the package and they're like, oh my God, I spent this, but I'm going to just trust the process. And that just takes someone believing in you and me as the individual to take care of them. And if you work with me, when you work with me, I'm going to tell you, did you do your warm-up? Try doing it on the course. Let's see what people... Oh, yeah, and we're like, yeah, you're warming up today, huh? Getting ready. Absolutely.
Yeah. One of the things I started doing is doing, like, jumping jacks before I start a round.
Okay.
I do some jumping jacks just to get my blood flowing. That's as far as I do before I start a round. So maybe today, before we start, we could do those 4 exercises.
Yeah, we're going to do a few. Absolutely.
Okay.
I was anticipating that.
Oh, you were anticipating that we'd do a few?
I was,
okay. I bet.
And I'll say this. Jumping jacks is more of a cardio-driven. Just get your heart rate pumping, okay?
So I go from 0, and I'm saying to you that I do jumping jack, and you shut me down.
Oh, I don't mean to do that.
No, that's what you did. That's what you did.
But see, you're getting your heart rate pumping, which is great because you got to be ready to go.
Right, yeah.
But you're my client. I might have you do 100 jumping jacks before we start working out, which is fine, but it's just to get your heart rate pumping because we about to do some high intense.
So what should I be doing instead of jumping jacks? Miss Know-It-All. I'm messing with you.
I know we should be doing some functional mobility movements, okay?
Okay.
Like I just mentioned earlier, those few exercises, okay? And we're going to make it work. We're going to get it right so that when you come out here, you're not just jumping around going, what's up, man? And they're like, okay. No. You waving your arms in the air. No.
I don't do it where people can see me.
Oh, okay.
I generally go on the side, do my jumping jacks, and then get cracking. I don't do it where people can see me.
No, because, sometimes people do jumping jacks. That could cause their heart rate to get high. They get anxious the first hole. No, we don't want to do that. Okay. We want to keep it nice, steady state, okay?
All right, so if you're going to be Shawna's client, jumping jacks is not in the cards.
Not suggested.
Not recommended.
No.
Not recommended.
Unless we playing, we're going to go to the football field or, get some basketball, shoot some basketball.
Not jumping jacks.
And all different priming exercises for different sports.
All right, I got you. Mm-hmm. So if someone wants to get in with you, get on your client list, I'm sure there may be a long wait list, but what's their first step?
Their first step is to reach out to me. So my website is live, myfairwayfitness.com. Okay. And all throughout my website, it's explaining the benefits of golf fitness and what my programs look like.
Thank you for tuning in to Let's Talk More Action Golf podcast. We hope that you've enjoyed today's episode. A big shout out to our producer and creative director, Ajane Josafa, for bringing the show to life. And a special thank you to Sid Mac for our fantastic music. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review our podcast on your favorite platform. Follow us on social media for the latest update and exclusive content at Let's Talk More Action Golf. I'm your host, Luke Josafa. Until next time, keep swinging easy, and remember, let's talk more action golf.
Life's a maze, keep your head high when you going through it. I saw dead bodies licking the eyes of the living. Held back cause you held back from making bigger decisions. We get lost, but this journey comes with us down. That's a given. That's a given. That's a given. We get lost, but the journey comes with us down. That's a given. That's a given.
Let's talk more action golf.